And that's anywhere. So I think that also people need to understand that, because a lot of them have signs that said, no human is illegal. Yeah. But once you enter the wrong way, doing it the proper way, you're breaking the law. And I think that we need to see both sides of it.
It's not a criminal act. And the president is a criminal, and he's in the highest office in the land. Coming over and being undocumented is not a criminal act. It does not deserve someone to be pushed to the ground and handcuffed. It's not. And so if you live, let me just tell you, I just got to be honest with you. If you come from a place like Mexico or whatever, you're from Mexico?
Yes.
If you come from a place like Mexico, you're right. We have amazing opportunities in this country. And the reason we have those is because we have a constitution where we treat people humanely, and we believe in immigration and people coming over. Not everybody comes over and they're going to do it the same way. Sometimes people come over under desperate situations and they need to get out, and we have to understand that. But the reason that we have all these things and that you love America is because people have due process. Is because we don't treat people inhumanely. It's because we don't beat people up. It's because we don't throw people in detention centers in horrible conditions. That's why you love America. If we did that, then we would be the same as the places people are coming from, looking for more freedoms and more opportunities.
I also see a dark side of it, though, because now you see cities like California, Chicago.
You mean Los Angeles? States like California.
Yes, exactly. States like California, with cities like Los Angeles and other parts of California, Chicago, and then you see Portland, and then you see all these other places where people are just breaking the law constantly, and they're just getting a slap on the wrist and send their way.
But
and
where's it? Portland, there's no emergency, there's no crime. In all of these cities that you're talking about, crime is down.
Okay, when you
always have issues with crime in big cities.
When you see those videos on TV of people just going in stores and stealing merchandise and just running out with
that shouldn't happen, but what does that have to do with immigration?
What I'm saying is that it has to do a lot with immigration, because you are saying that crossing illegally is not a crime. They're not breaking the law. That's my thing.
It's not a crime.
Go to Japan and try to do it illegally, and I guarantee you're going to.
We don't live in Japan. That's the thing.
Okay, but
do you want to live under Japanese rule? You're making my point. You don't want to live under a dictatorship.
What I'm trying to tell you is that America is heading that way, because we're only giving slaps on the wrist instead of enforcing the law. So
there are things that we need to work with, but we cannot brutalize people and not give them due process. Do we need to work on people who don't serve enough time in jail and other things? Absolutely. Yes. But that is not the same as immigration. And look,
I don't even have to be American or European or African to know that every country has immigration laws in place. That's the reason why we have passports. We get visas to travel from one country to the other. It's everywhere. You can't enter another territory without a visa. Those countries that are visa-free, you still have to be cleared by immigration officers that you can enter our country and have your passport stamped that you are entering our country. You are in another territory. So now if he says that if somebody enters the United States of America illegally, hasn't broken a law. The lady, she's trying to educate him to tell him that all these crimes have everything to do with immigration. If somebody goes into another country illegally, that person is not going to have an employment, which will be able to help that person take care of all their problems. So where do you think they're going to get the money to feed their families or to feed themselves? They've crossed into another country to probably maybe have a better life. But how are they going to get a better life if they are undocumented? Crime. They're going to resolve into crime. If it's a man, he's going to start setting up some stuff, some drugs. He's going to try to steal some stuff so that he can eat something. So you're gonna have a lot of things happening. The reason why there are immigration laws is for every country to be safe, to make sure that every person that comes into that country, they are screened to make sure that they are a person that's not gonna cause chaos in that country. They are not a criminal. You understand? They are a person that's going to add value to the country. They are a person that have come in, maybe if it's through asylum, maybe they are seeking asylum, or that's what was trying to justify, to say maybe those people are running from somewhere, but are you still going to accept those people who come in another country illegally? I'll tell you that there is no country under the sun that will just accept people coming in without those people being cleared. You're not gonna see anyone, not even in Africa. You're not gonna see that in Africa. People don't just go in another country. They just cross the border and say, oh, we've become part of the country now. That doesn't happen. So he doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think maybe this guy lives in the real world. I think I've stopped too much. Let's get back to the video.
Technically, you are breaking the law if you come in as an alien and don't go through an official port of entry. Why is that, Don? Because our best friend ChatGPT explains it to us. If someone enters the U.S. without going through an official port of entry, for example, sneaking across the border or evading inspection by immigration officers, law violated. 8 U.S. Code, some symbol 1325A, improper entry by an alien. Penalty, first offense, a misdemeanor, punishable by up to 6 months in jail and or a fine. Subsequent offenses can be charged as a felony, punishable by up to 2 years in prison. And if that's part of the Constitution, then that constitutes following the Constitution by following those laws. And if you break them, you're committing an illegal act and therefore are an illegal immigrant. Where did Don go to school?
I think people should come here the right way. But also, I'm not in a dire situation where I'm going to judge how someone comes in the country when they are in fear of their lives or they have no opportunities. I'm not going to judge how they
told me the president is a criminal, so
Yes.
that's judging.
No, I'm not judging. That's fact. How's that judging?
Okay, crossing the border illegally is not a crime?
No, it's not a criminal act. It's a
Okay.
misdemeanor.
So why are they being sent back and saying that they're breaking the law?
That's the point.
Okay, as somebody that actually...
We don't know if they're breaking the law because they won't tell. There's no due process. Where's the evidence? That's the whole point. And if they are breaking the law, most people will say, okay, then they need to go if they're criminals. But if they're not, why are they being rounded up and sent out? Especially when he promised to deport the criminals. And now he's not doing that.
Yeah, I don't think we're going...
Misdemeanor is not a crime. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
So misdemeanor is not
It's
a
not
crime?
a criminal act. No, if you get charged with a misdemeanor, that's not a criminal
why get
act.
charged at all then, if it's not a criminal act?
Because we have different levels of crime. Everything is not the same.
So it is crime.
No,
It's just
we have
different
we
levels.
have different levels of. No, I shouldn't say crime, but it's not a crime. You're not breaking the law. I mean, you are breaking the law, but it's not a criminal act.
So it's breaking the law.
No,
The law, but it's
you're
just
not breaking the
different
law.
level
A
of
misdemeanor is not
crime.
breaking the law.
No.
If you're speeding, drinking, get pulled over, DUI.
That's not a criminal act. Well, no,
It's a
if you're
misdemeanor.
speeding, is a misdemeanor.
It's a misdemeanor.
Right.
So it's still breaking the law.
Okay. Well, if you want to qualify that, we're doing semantics.
Because
But
why
what
would
I'm
you
saying,
get pulled over?
but what I'm trying to tell you is everything is not the same. It's all not one thing.
But is it the law?
What is it? The law that what?
Is it a law to come
Is
over
there a
legally?
law?
Is there a law?
There are rules that processes that you should follow. Yeah, so you're breaking rules. You're breaking the rules, but you're not necessarily breaking a law.
So what happens if you break the rules?
Then you suffer the consequences. But the consequences should not. Look.
Wait. What? Did he really just say that? If you're... what did he say?
You're breaking the rules, but you're not necessarily breaking a law.
You're breaking rules, but you're not necessarily breaking the law, even though those rules are in the Constitution like I just read to you guys. What?
Look, no one is saying no one should suffer the consequences. You guys are getting things mixed up, okay? What we're saying is that you should not be brutalized or beaten up or treated inhumanely for even if a criminal act in America.
Just for any law.
For any law, whether it is the highest in the land, you still have due process. You're still innocent until proven guilty.
There are no such things as innocent until proven guilty. You are not part of the country. So if you enter another country illegally, you are not a citizen in that country. So you are not really governed by those laws. Can I say that? can I say that? So, in the first place, the first action is to deport you to where you came from. So if they catch you to say, oh, you're in the country illegally, there's no anything to do with due process or whatsoever. The first thing they're gonna do is to take you where you came from. If your visa expires, there won't be due process or whatsoever. The first thing they have to do is to deport you to where you came from. It's their mandate to deport you to the country where you came from. So if you commit a crime, let's say you go into another country, you steal, and those agents come after you, or you beat up somebody. Those agents come after you. They are not coming after you because you beat up somebody. They are coming after you because you are in a country illegally. And now their mandate is to have you deported. Because assault, it's not them that have to carry out, like, maybe to task you to say, oh, you know what, you need to answer for assault charges. No, you deal with that with the police, and then you'll be taken to court and all that. But when you're dealing with the ICE agents, you put yourself on the radar because you stole and you're undocumented. They come after you. They are coming after you because you don't belong in that country. So you don't deserve due process to say, oh, for prove yourself innocent for stealing, prove yourself innocent for attacking somebody. No, they are just there to make sure that, oh, you don't belong in this country. You have to go. So, but the most painful thing is you have this guy argue like this, and he actually believes it. How does he sleep himself knowing that what he's saying is not true? I mean, even if I'm being paid a lot of money to say things that don't make sense, like, how do I switch my mind to make sure that I make it so real or convincing in an argument when I'm saying things that don't make sense? Like, do I have to pretend? He actually believes it. Whatever he's saying, they're like, breaking the rules does not mean you are breaking the law. Bad.
Right.
No, we agree
But
with all
that's
that.
it. What
But
happens-
what's happening now is guilty until no proven. It doesn't matter. You're just guilty.
You
Don-
don't belong in that country, so why should you be proven here? They've established that you don't belong in that country. So, if you want due process, they already know that you don't belong in that country. So, why would you seek for due process? I think this guy doesn't understand.